Hello and welcome to this FPL Gameweek 36 transfer plans video with me, Holly Shand. It's great to be back in front of the camera after being ruled out with illness last week. Thank you for all the kind messages. Let's get this one to 250 likes. Let's get into it. I'm not having the best game week 35. I've got 27 points at the moment with triple Brighton still to play, and a Trent return and a return from Harry Kane has been the only positive. So I'm about 30 points away from the top 100k right now. I need to do something bold in order to catch up. So my transfer plans this week are going to be quite controversial. Looking at my transfer plans then, I've got 2 free transfers, 1.9 million in the bank, with a double game week 36 for Brighton and Newcastle. Triple up and up on both of those sides is really important. I've got 3 Brighton players as things stand. I've only got 2 Newcastle players, so I've got that desire to bring in a Newcastle attacker right now, and it's probably going to be a forward who comes in. I've got that dead spot in my team at the moment, Sam Greenwood. So I'm choosing between Callum Wilson and Alexander Isak as the player to bring in. Using the points predictions tool on Fantasy Football Hub, Isak is predicted to score 10.4 points this week, Wilson 9.1 points. But that's based on 168 minutes for Isak, 122 minutes for Wilson. We did see them play together though in game week 35. I've also looked at the comparison tool on Fantasy Football Hub. You can customise this as a member and you can get 30% off your membership using the link in the description to this video. But you can compare the 2 players side by side in these radar charts. This is comparing them on their performances since the international break, and per appearance Wilson is the one that is dominating in terms of XG, big chances, shots in the box. And you know, I'm kind of hopeful that Wilson will start both games. He's on penalties as well, which does swing it for me. And because I am needing to do a little bit of a differential move to make up ground, it's Wilson that I'm leaning to bring in over Isak, just to do something different in order to try and make up ground in the final few weeks of the season. And when captaincy comes into play, I could go there with the captaincy, and the fact that Wilson's on penalties does just edge it for me. Now, the problem is, I can't actually afford to get either of them in directly for Greenwood. I'm 1.2 million off, so I need to get some funds from somewhere. I can't get funds out of Mings or Kepa, simply not enough there. I don't want to lose either of my Newcastle defenders. I don't want to lose Trent either, or Shaw. I can't really do a lot with him either. But looking at the rest of my front 7, the player that I feel like is most disposable this week is Jack Grealish. Obviously missed out in game week 35 ahead of the Champions League this midweek semi-final against Real Madrid. The second leg comes after game week 36. I feel like he's a player that's not absolutely essential in my squad right now, so I can get some funds out of him. I need a cash cow. Grealish looks like the one to be, and I am going to make a little bit of a controversial move because I am going to replace him with another Man City midfielder in Rodri. Now, DMs don't tend to have much utility on FPL, but if you actually look at his numbers, he's got 2 goals and 6 assists this season. And we also need to bear in mind that he's kind of averaging a goal or an attacking return, every 4 games. He's blanked in all of the last 4, got his rest in game week 35. So I feel like I'll probably bench him this week, and I'll bench him in game week 38, but double game week 37 to bring him in for Chelsea and Brighton. Buy a ticket to the Man City roulette, roll the dice and see if it can come up with any attacking returns for me. Feels like a good enough plan for this week. Now this leaves me looking really strong for the doubles in 37 because I've got 3 Brighton, 3 United players. I've also got 2 City players now, 1 Chelsea player in Kepa, who is unlikely to feature for me anyway because I'll probably play Steele. But having a little bit of funds in the bank means that 0.4 million I can probably sell Fabian Schär come game week 37 once that double's out the way for Newcastle, and bring in a Man City defender, possibly an Ake and a Kanji, and that will give me 3 Man City players for double game week 37 as well. So there's logic in the planning there, that it does come with risk. It's probably not the most ideal transfer bringing in Rodri, but it allows me to afford Wilson, who I'll probably captain as well, and keeps me on doublers for 37. And when there's only 3 game weeks to go in the season, you can kind of take these little punts on players because you're not holding them long term. We've got to look very short term in our moves now. We've got very little time to make wholesale changes and make up ground. So it's time to try something different. Let me know in the comments your transfer dilemmas then. I do my best to answer all of your questions within 24 hours of this video going live. Help me get to 18,000 subscribers before the end of the season as well. All of your support is really appreciated. I'll be back later in the week for the team selection. Good luck for FPL Game Week 36.